Welcome to the Road is Dead podcast. I'm your host, Rob Curtis. Joining me in the studio is
Rosanna Dana.
Damn.
She's saying that because of her hair, man. That's a far back.
That's a good one. Now I'll just bore you and say Tim Strelecki. I couldn't. I'm not quick-witted enough to come up with something.
Rosanna, this is because you cut your hair recently, right? And it's shorter than it's been in 10 years or some shit?
Shorter than it's been in probably almost 20 years. And it's super floofy.
Channeling your
and I'm
80s.
I'm a dude, so I get to be like, I didn't notice.
Well, neither did my husband, so that's all right.
Yeah, that's just the way that it works.
Sick burn.
I only cut like 10 inches off, but yeah, I can understand that's.
Yeah, actually, now that you say it, I mean, I'm sorry I didn't notice too, but I'm looking.
Well,
at a tiny little cell phone screen.
you can only. It's only so obvious, I think, from the back. And
yeah, when I was going to say, now that I look at it, when I was in there the other day, it was considerably longer.
So I don't know.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
Good for you.
There's going to be a lot of it is what it is today, I think.
Yeah.
I hate that saying because it's not.
Why? It's so Midwestern though.
It's so dumb.
It's not necessarily dumb. I think it's Midwestern passive aggressive.
It is what it is. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Why is it that way?
But saying it is what it is a Midwestern way of saying I acknowledge that this is what's going on right now, and I have nothing else to say about it in terms of I have no ideas on how to improve it or anything.
It could be that, but I don't think it's a Midwestern thing because my parents are born and raised in New York, and they say it all the time, and I want to vomit every time they say it.
Man.
So I just think it's a passive way of saying, I don't have any answers. I don't really give a shit. So it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I said it's a passive aggressive kind of thing.
You're bleeding out, and your insides are on the sidewalk. It is what it is.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's me.
Anyway.
So speaking of anyway, and is what it is. First things first. This $3 that's sitting here on the table since last week. I
never accepted the bet.
Well, it's been sitting here ever since.
No, your eyes accepted the bet.
Those $3 are yours. And for those that don't remember, I bet $3 that on who was going to win in the crit and Commercial Street Criterium.
Just take the money, Leah.
In the Masters field. And I lost that bet. Leah beat me in that race.
Literally.
We'll say
in more ways than one, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of people already know about this, but I didn't realize how many people didn't know about it until I was, I was having some conversations the last couple of days, and people are still shocked to hear it. But guess what? I wrecked in a crit, and shit happens. To phrase it, I've been racing off and on for 35 years. The number of wrecks I've been in a crit, I can count on one hand in that whole time. And the number that I have quote unquote caused would be 0. This time I'm a victim of my own either hubris or inattention or something. I don't really know. All I know is that second lap of the race, we went into corner 1 after that long ass straight. If I look at the data, I was going 31. It was 30.8 going into the corner. And then the next 2 seconds, I went down to 28 and then to 26 and then 0. So I've been thinking about it a lot. I had conceptions of what I thought happened, and those were all wrong. I knew there was video of it, and I finally got it when Christian Cycling posted it. I got to see it. I don't have the video. And it dawned on me maybe about a day or two ago what now fits what I remember happening. And remember I said I thought I went over the manhole cover and I thought I got loosed and saved it.
You were nowhere near it.
And then hit the brakes. I wasn't on the manhole cover, but
I know
that video didn't catch what I think happened, and that's when I hit the first entrance into the brick, I felt loose. And I was going fine exiting it then, But the second I exited it, I think I felt insecure on that, and I was way too far forward, and I know I tapped my rear brake. And I tapped my rear brake as I was exiting. If you look at when my tire leaves the brick, there was like a bump there or something, but when my tire leaves the brick, that's when I slide out. So I'm sure I touched the brake right there. So
well, that's your first problem.
Yeah, I literally remember tapping the brake, but I remember thinking it was my last resort because I'm going to wreck.
Well,
you think you would have wrecked if you didn't touch the brake?
Looking at the video, it doesn't look like it.
I mean,
no, I don't think you would have at all.
Looking at the body language and everything, it did look as though that you could have easily reacted to what did not appear to be a good line by the person in front of you. Like, is that person going to crash into the curb right in front of me?
I felt like I was going to wreck
because it didn't look like
Todd was a little close.
So who knows? Who knows?
So I remember telling you guys, I felt like there was a rider like broadside in front of me. And looking at the video, it was the rider that was on the outside that I was coming in on.
Yeah.
I was absolutely going to just clock that guy. And that may have been why I tapped the brakes.
You know why?
I don't know.
Why were they going so slow at that point?
I don't know. They were going slow, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
whatever. Who knows?
It's bike racing. I'm blaming myself. Because I can't. I gotta say, I cannot stand when people wreck and they want to point the finger at everybody else. I just can't stand that. And I think even on that day, I was like, hey, as far as I know, I caused it. So
yeah,
shit happens.
I mean, unless someone physically touches you first and then you crash, you can blame the other person.
That, or if they go into a line
that's
like fucked up, and that's what everybody always resorts to. They always go, somebody took a weird line, and so whatever. It's bike racing. I went down. Thankfully, from what I understand, no one else was severely hurt. Somebody said somebody broke a hand, which I didn't hear about, which is unfortunate. My apologies to whoever broke their hand. But I went down. I slid out quick and hard, hit the curb. You said in the video somebody clocks me in the head.
It looked like the guy to your inside in the black.
Yeah.
Like when you were down and sliding, and he was trying to brake, and it looked like I don't know if he did, but he looked like he just like bumped either your neck or your head.
I don't remember getting hit in the neck or head, and I remember putting my head down at the very end, and my helmet's got a light scrape on it. It's definitely not dented or anything. I never felt like I had a concussion or anything. But I did when I hit the ground and slid, I did the fetal roll up into a ball because I know I'm going to get hit by riders behind me. And I got hit by riders behind me.
I'm one of them.
So, and I don't know whether it was a sliding out, hitting the curve, or having riders hit me, but somewhere in that process, I broke 4 ribs. So I was not able to breathe right when that happened, except for really shallow breaths, and but immediately got up and got off the course as quick as I could because I know how it works.
I mean, on one hand, you did a good thing by not taking your hands off the bars and crashing with your hands on the bars. Yeah, but now you got 4 broken ribs.
Exactly. I never take my hands off the bars.
I mean,
and if anything, well, it is a bad thing because I'll tell you this: if anything, as a wreck happens, I grip the bars even tighter. And it's happened to me every time I've ever gone over. So mostly in cyclocross. There's been a couple times I've endoed in cyclocross. Like there was one time I was riding through a field and there was a huge pothole divot that I didn't know about. I went over the bars. Yeah, but going over, I don't let go. And when I don't let go, it royally fucks up my shoulder. Like it'll tear up all sorts of muscle and everything in there because I'm like gripping it like a death grip as my body's thrown like over the bars. So it's every time that's done that, I wish that I would have let go of the bars, but my natural tendency is not to let go of the bars. I just grip them tighter. So it is what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't have an answer. And things don't always go my way. So
I got an answer.
What?
Don't crash.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll
Don't
keep
hit
that
your
in mind.
don't hit your rear brake in a corner.
I don't even know why.
We've all been
It's
there.
not like it's not like I'm new to
This
this
is
shit.
almost
but
like a buck a rib.
almost. I need
One
another
more
I
dollar.
need another $1.
No, well, that 3's fair because you hit him.
I did. I
Sure.
don't
So
I don't
he gets
recall
taking a dollar
hitting him
back.
hard.
He gets $1 rebate.
My I have a distinct recollection of us all coming up that front straight and a bunch of getting a bunch of people swarming,
Yeah, they hit the gas.
flying up into that turn 1, and I made a conscientious decision. I'm like, I'm going to stay out of this. Let's get through turn 1 safe, and then I'll,
Yeah.
and we didn't get through turn. I just had an itch that said, oh, there's a whole lot of people racing into that first turn awful fucking fast.
I didn't.
And I was just like, I'm going to stay behind this.
We had a pre-lap. Well, I don't know, pre-lap. It was lap 1, and Katie was in the front, and really it was a nice slow pace. I liked it. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, hey, if we keep doing this is going to be an easy day. And I was riding like second, third wheel to her, and which was nice. And I felt good. I was like, hey, I can keep an eye on her and everything else. And she wanted to be up there because she wanted to avoid the wrecks, which I get. And I had a weird feeling before the race, but that's, I had a feeling I was going to wreck, which is already a bad headspace to be in. But
Yeah.
the second lap, then they finally went around her, and I saw 1 or 2 people go, and then I saw Todd Progreva went, and I've been finishing, near him, and he finishes well. And so when I saw him move, I'm like, all right, there's like 3-4 guys up the road now. I need to move. And I felt good. So I went, and I felt great. And I knew that we were going way too fucking fast down that front. And coming into that turn, I was thinking we are going way too fast. But I was like, hey, whatever. Let's just push it. And then, that's all split second stuff, and 2 seconds later, I'm like, oh, well, that was a bad choice. Whatever. Everyone else had a great race. They really enjoyed it. It's a good venue. Go and race it next year.
Absolutely.
I may not race it next year because for me, it's too close to cross season to get hurt. Because now I'm hurt and cross season's starting, and I can't race.
Just don't have another category just created to cater to you. Just race the category you should race.
It definitely wasn't catered to me.
And the crick gods won't sprinkle down that juju on you.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't created for me. I mean, it was a stacked field, like I had a feeling it was going to be. So there were some stone cold killers in that field. Whoever won it, lapped the field once or twice.
That's the problem with that field. Everyone, like you said, second lap, everyone wants to go from 15 miles an hour to 30, and you don't have the skill set to realize that when you go that fast, things come at you a lot quicker, and you have to react a lot quicker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why it sucks that you didn't have the wherewithal to go, this is a little too early in the game, lap 2, I'm going to sit up.
I knew it was too early, but I was like, I feel good.
Well, I understand when instinct goes and you feel good, you want to be a part of it. Like you want to animate the race, there's no problem with that at all. But I mean, that's where I think I'm guilty of this too, is in the early moments, you got to try really hard to rein yourself in and let the race build its speed and figure out that everyone is getting through the crucial parts of the track or the course safely.
Yeah. Well, all I got to say is I gave all you guys a break because you were allowed to go and get a free lap.
Yep. I ricocheted off. I mean, not hard. I just came to a almost complete stop, wedged between Rob and 1 or 2 other cyclists, and kind of got untangled quickly. My chain was off. I put my chain on. I jumped onto the sidewalk, jumped on the bike to make sure that everything was shifting okay as I pedaled slowly to the pits and was ready to go. And the first time everybody came by, Tim, our official that day, said, just hold on, we're still getting people sorted here. So he's like, 1 more lap. So we sat there actually for 2 laps.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rob. So then by the time everybody comes back around, it's kind of broke up. like the
Yeah.
field kind of like blew up
kinda
into
detonated.
chunks. There was a guy off the front, and then there was another group that came by, and they put us in with that group. And then I think I don't know what you saw from where you were, but it seemed like things had gotten split up in those 2 laps that we were getting sorted at the pits, because I know Katie said that after the crash, things got split up. She ended up on the wrong side of that split. So, I don't know. All I know is I was in the front of the line at the pits. So when he said go, I jumped and I filed in with the group that came by, and I just grabbed onto wheels and just hung on. And the next thing I know, at some point later in the race, I look behind me and there's literally no one behind me. And I've been sitting here riding like 8th, 9th wheel, single file for the whole rest of the race. And I'm like, oh, I'm the end of the line here.
Yeah.
There's nobody else behind me. So that's cool. Yay. But this has been, the gas was on solid for 20 minutes after that and did not let up until the last, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of the race, where kind of sat up, looked around, there was an attack, and then it kind of did a little of this. And we cruised into the finish, and I had I didn't have any juice left to squeeze for the sprint, and also didn't care, because I knew I was in the lead for the female. And normally I like to sprint with the boys. And I was just like, that pretty much tapped me out the rest of that race. Going into that, I had pretty much completely stopped, let off the gas completely after grit. So I was pretty significantly deconditioned. So that 40-minute crit pretty much tapped me out for the rest of the day. Because I jumped in the women's race and I couldn't get anything going at all. I was dead and I was like, oh, maybe it'll, they were going kind of slow, and we're just kind of riding and I'm like, oh, maybe my legs will come around as we get right in. And then there were a couple tacks by Naomi, and I was just like, bye.
Have fun.
I don't have 2 crits in my legs right now.
Contrast this with then me. By the time I was able to actually get back to the tent, which took a long time, I really should have gone to the hospital. I didn't go to the hospital because I knew it was broken ribs, and what are they going to do except charge me a lot of money. We waited for 3 days afterwards, and I was still in so much pain that Julie, my wife, was like, she had a doctor at her work that was like, finally, every doctor before that in the previous days, they were like, oh, he needs to go get a CT because, a wreck at that speed, you need to get a CT done, make sure he doesn't have a pneumothorax and a bunch of other stuff. Well,
internal bleeding,
blah,
blah, etc.
And then finally, by the 3rd day or so, the doctor that she had was like, oh, no, I mean, if he's still breathing okay and stuff like that by now, then, it just needs an x-ray. And I finally was like, I've had broken ribs enough. And my wife, who is an RN, has zero sympathy for it and won't ever acknowledge that they're broken because I haven't gone to a doctor to get it checked, So this was kind of one of my, what? It's covered by our insurance. I'm going to get an x-ray done just to know that a rib here is broken, or if it's really just a muscle thing. And then I went in and she goes, I knew something was wrong when the doctor got the x-rays back and was like, we're going to need a professional read on this. Hold on. And they came back with, yeah, no, you have 4 broken and all that kind of stuff. So but anyway, trying to catch my breath, and I was in shock from it, but it took me a long time to get back to the tent. I get back to the tent, I sit down, and I'm able to actually sit down and breathe a little because I had some ibuprofen on, and your race was going on. And it was almost right then when you guys took a corner and Ryan White was with you.
Yeah.
And he was trying to block you.
Yeah.
And you came under him on the outside and rode right up that gutter. And I swear to God, I think you were on the curb, riding the curb directly in front of me.
Just about, yeah.
And making room. I mean, he was right on. He was trying to pinch you out to block you.
Yeah.
and you got between him and the curb and basically like rode the curb up. And as you were passing him, you threw a headbutt at him, not a full on
Mhm.
contact headbutt, but you did your
No.
whole,
Yeah.
to make some room, make sure you could
Yeah.
get through. That was just the best thing I saw all fucking day. And I
Nice.
was like, that's it. That's what you do. So I
Yeah.
don't know if you want to talk about your races and kind of where they were and
I'll keep it brief, but I raced the Masters race first, and it was like, I don't, my whole thought going into it is like Leah, after grit and racing 10 days, I was I was pretty taxed. I was like, I need to decompress from this, like physically and but more so mentally. And I let it go a little too far. Like I let, recovery and coming back around go too far. I didn't stay sharp on things. So I went into this knowing probably not going to have the greatest of races, but my main focus was get some intensity in a race scenario or in a two race scenario since I did Masters and the P123 to sharpen up for the cross season. That's my goal. Go in there, suffer a bit, and you'll come out better on the other side. So I did the Masters race, and things started out. I mean, our field in the Masters was small. It was 35 plus, which I thought would have been bigger, being as it was 35 plus.
right.
But I understand. For me, my perspective, it's kind of an odd time of the year for that race to happen. All the big series have already happened. Then you've got Gateway on the heels of that. So I thought it would have been like great prep for people going down to Gateway. Get a race in their legs, then go do 4 good hard days of racing. But the Masters field was small. I think it was 14, maybe. Started off fast. The usual suspects got away. We were a break of 5, and then we dropped 1. So it was myself and Lanyon and the White Brothers, and I knew that they were going to do the White Brothers, that is, do their best to get me out of the pack, and they succeeded with that. They were just kept attacking and attacking and attacking, and I had to cover every move that Lanyon wasn't able to cover. Um, and he's just stronger than I am at the moment, and I blew up like probably 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, and then we were lapping the field. Mike and Ryan had gone up the road. They had already gotten through the field. Ryan and I were coming to lap the field,
Yeah.
going into the first corner, and he timed his attack perfectly. Like he attacked me and blasted through the field like right before the first corner. And I was like, God damn it. I don't really want to go chase. I was like, I don't want to chase this. I really don't. Like, I don't care,
Yeah. Yeah.
So they rode away. I stayed in fourth, just kind of a lonely fourth. I had Dean Apt from Triple X on my wheel, and I did the majority of the work, and once I flicked him through on the backside and was like, dude, could you give me just like a minute?
Yeah.
And he came around, gave me a little break, and then I soldiered on and finished fourth on the day, which nothing spectacular. And then jumped in the P123 field later on. Wasn't sure how that was going to go, because there's almost a 2-hour gap between the two, and it's
Yeah.
hard to stay like motivated and loose and like try to get psyched up for a race again. But it turned out to be good. It was a good field. A lot of out of town talent came up. Came down from Wisconsin, came up from maybe Indiana or other places, and it was good and fast. Mostly cordial. Um, Kept out of any of the madness. Stayed up towards the front where it's clean. Really kept an eye on that manhole cover in the first turn, because it seemed like in every lap of the first 5 laps of the Masters race, I hit every single pothole along the
Yeah.
course. And I was like, God damn, what's going on? So I figured all that out by the time the Masters race ended, and was in good shape for the second race. And, it was good. We got neutralized at the 42-minute mark, which had never happened to me before. So I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out.
But not because of a
Um,
wreck or anything in your race. It was an ambulance that needed to gain access
yeah,
to the course,
yes, it was,
or a
yes,
fire truck or something.
something, but we got neutralized for, I think Darcy said over 20 minutes, which is a long neutralization. And that, like I said, I never been neutral before. So, I'm like, okay, I know that how this is going to go. Your body's either going to be okay or it's going to be like, nope, and you're done.
Yeah.
So we get going again, and like the first 3 laps, I was like, oh, the accelerations hurt more than I wanted them to. But after like the third one, I'm like, okay, my body was like, you got this. You're good. You're good. You could do this. Just ride smart. Don't be an idiot. Um, so we're finishing out. There was one guy off the front. He had like a 25 or 28-second gap. So he got his gap upon the restart. We never caught him. So he won. And then I ended up rolling in for 7th, which is okay.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah.
That's really
came
good.
It's
away,
really good.
came away with all my skin. Got a good fitness bump.
I didn't go. Geez, I don't know, take a little pot shot at me.
That's the thing. Like you want to do well in these races that are later in the year, but like you said, there's cross season, and I'm not gonna throw something a season that I absolutely love doing just to get a result in a road race. I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take risks in the spring to be healed by the summer to not miss cross. It's unfortunate for you because you've been super hyped on the cross season.
Yep,
and you've
very
been
much looking
super
forward to
it. And you just got to sit the first month out.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where I'm at with it. Doctor was saying like 5 to 6 weeks. He said get another X-ray at 3 weeks. Well, I'm on my second week at this point, a week and a half now about. And I got to tell you, I actually feel way better. I've been getting on the trainer, which he said I could do. Big thing is where the breaks were. One was really close to my spleen, and he was like, "You can't wreck again." I was like, "Hey, can I do running? And even if I can stand the pain, can I do running?" And he's like, "Nah, because even if you trip and fall, it's not going to be good."
Lights out.
So I haven't been doing that, but he said I could get on the trainer, and I've been doing the trainer. And when I say I've been doing the trainer, I've gone on 3 times, and I've got like maybe 2 hours worth of work on it. So, but yeah, I got to admit, all last week was pretty much, despair and depression, because it's like, great, not even excited to like glue up tubulars or anything else. It's just like, who cares, But at this point, it's looking like I'm going to miss racing Caldwell, maybe. But I possibly could race not Caldwell, Glenwood Academy.
Mm.
I possibly could race it because it's so flat and easy. There's not a lot of like off the bike technical work. I do have to get off a couple times a lap, but even Julie was like, "Yeah, you could probably do Glenwood." But then the next week is Trek. I'm not going to come back and race that course,
right?
That close to it, which really sucks. I was really looking forward to Trek, and now I'm like, why do I even want to go up there? And then after that's Grass Farm at Inglewood, and I kind of was looking forward to that, and I probably won't even do that one now. So if that pans out, then I've got enough time that I can be back in and going, and I should be able to hit the rest of it. Wow, I just got an order from Tread Savvy. Somebody just bought some tires from Tread Savvy. Individual that is that we know from the local scene just bought 2. So I'm going to have to get those packaged up and out the door. Treadsavvy.com. That should be your source for all of your cyclocross tire needs as of right now. Eventually it'll be gravel as well, but right now we're focusing on cyclocross so we can have a good selection and have a lot of good treads and good inventory is kind of the deal. So go out to treadsavvy.com and buy all of your cyclocross tires. Currently, there's some codes floating around out there. If you don't have a code, what I'm trying to say is you should never have to pay full price at that website. There's a code on the top of the splash page for at least 18% off if you're a first-time customer. Right now, GRIT, GRIT 20, left over from the GRIT series. That code is still live, and I'm going to keep it live for a while, but that will give you 20% off And then there's some other codes out there. If you're ever short of a code, just reach out and contact me. This is a little bit of us trying to pass on some savings to those of you that actually race. That's what cyclocross is for. But I wanted to say, after the crit, damage stuff and everything, I hardly ever ride my road bike. My bars were twisted, turned, everything. They're carbon. I don't really have the utmost faith in them, although they seem solid. My brake, though, on the left-hand side was locked on. And following some advice from Brendan, our Shimano tech rep, I loosened the clamp because the master cylinder was kind of binding on it. Loosened the clamp. I did a full bleed. There was a lot of water air in the system for some reason. I didn't notice a leak anywhere, but it definitely is sticking at the end of its travel. Mm-hmm. And it's 11-speed Di2 that I got 8 years ago, I think. Whenever Ultegra Di2 11-speed first came out, R8000. And they don't support it anymore, which I think a lot of us knew. But, all these component manufacturers are getting in the same boat where they're just not offering replacements. And I went out and I took the time. We get special pricing if you're an industry employee, if you've done like Shimano training through their university. It's an opportunity for them to get more people in the industry on their components at a more reasonable price for those that are impacted by it. It's not like you get carte blanche. You get a 1 or 2 times a year you can order. And I went out and I priced even just a partial new Ultegra 12-speed group. And I was the sticker shock is just too much for me. And that's at a massive discount. So I feel for everyone that is buying anything. But luckily, I was told that if I contacted Shimano and got inside with them, that I could tell them that I had some crash damage on that lever, and they did have a shipment of levers that they were holding back and using for crash replacements. And I got a hold of them, and they okayed it. And so I have a brand new left shifter on its way. So thank you, Shimano, for backing me up like that. I do appreciate it. Unfortunately, they are out of right and left shifters in that group from this point forward. So I got like basically the last left-handed shifter. So sorry. The one side benefit to that is if you do have a group like this and you are now obsolete because one part broke, you can go on eBay and find that you can sell all of your working parts that are left in that group for probably more than you paid for them. Because everyone is wanting them as replacement parts. So I probably could have paid for a new group just by selling piece parting out the other parts. So something to keep in mind if you find yourself in that boat. But Shimano also announced, we are not sponsored by Shimano, by the way, obviously, because I've never gotten any money from Shimano or anything. But I really love Shimano. If you've listened to this, you know that.
I used to be.
You literally used to be sponsored by Shimano. So
I was, yes.
They did come out this week or last week with a new SPD cleat. And I kind of wanted to take 2 seconds and cover that because I was asked by a listener to talk about the new cleat and kind of what its differences are. Why was I asked to cover that by a listener? Because they sent an email to roadisdead, all one word, roadisdead@gmail.com. Go ahead and send us your topics, questions, anything you want us to hit on this podcast, and we will get around to doing it.
Well done, listener. Well done.
So I'm going to cover this one. Basically, this is what I was told. This is the background on this. They had a newer engineer that started at Shimano, very good engineer, and they were giving him a project. And the project was go back and look at this cleat and see if there's any improvements that can be made to it now with the modeling and technology that we have today available to us. That cleat is 30 years old, 40 years old at this point. Came out in the late 80s. So yeah, like 40 years. God, I'm old. It's almost 40 years old. It's like 35 years old or something like that. And there has never been a change. There have been 2 cleats available since day one. One is the standard cleat, which has lateral release and is a toe first entry. So toe in, drop it in, and that's how you engage. The second cleat that they've had since day one is a multi-release. So it's not just a lateral twist and out, but you can lateral twist it. You can also roll your foot out of it and kind of roll and pitch up diagonally, and it will come out as well too. So it allows you to release in multiple different ways. A lot of racers and enthusiasts don't like that cleat because you can conceivably be released from the pedal when you don't want to be. But it lowers a barrier to starting with clipless pedals for those that aren't confident. And so I was told that they used to sell a ton to like spin classes and things like that. So I know that my wife is on a set of those cleats that have multi-release. So those are the two cleats they've had since day one. They haven't touched anything and revised anything. So they handed the standard cleat to this engineer and said, redesign it using current thinking, current technology, modeling, everything. And he redesigned it. And now what you get is it's a cleat that isn't the standard cleat yet. Most likely will become the standard cleat across the entire line. It is 100% backwards compatible. All right, that's not true. It's like 99% backwards compatible. There theoretically is one pedal out there from some forgotten, lineup like 20 years ago. It's a very special use case, and sometimes that one has a weird problem with it. That's what I've been told. But in essence, it is 100% backwards compatible. They call it as 100% backwards compatible. So, and also the major difference with this cleat now, though, is it allows multiple entries. So not only can you step in with your toe and drop down, but you can come backwards on it and hook the rear and plop the front in, or you can just stomp on it and get in. So, which you haven't been able to do before, supposedly. So,
I've been able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was told. So, your mileage may vary. But in essence, you have more ways to get into the pedal now. It's more forgiving getting into the pedal. But it has a standard same lateral release as it's always had. So right now that cleat is coming standard with an enduro pedal, I believe. It will soon, and like a 9100 series pedal, it'll soon be added to the standard XTR pedal, 9180 or whatever the hell it is. And it will most likely replace the standard cleat in all the pedal offerings as they're updated through time. So in other words, no drawbacks, only additional features, and same performance. So if you've been on the SPD platform and you're running it and that's your thing, which for Tim, you run SPD, I would highly recommend trying it. I have a couple on order. When I got that replacement lever, I said, hey, throw me 3 or 4 pairs of those and we're gonna try them. Not throw me, I paid for them, but we're gonna give them a shot and try them. So we'll report back to you. But if you are on an SPD platform, I say go for it. Swap them now. Because here's the other thing. We're starting cyclocross season. Replace your cleats. I don't care who you are. I just replace them. You're going to be amazed at, even if they're only a year old, you're going to be amazed that there is a difference. They do feel different getting in and out. And I highly recommend that you replace them. Even if they're metal cleats, like all these off-road ones are for the most part, they wear quite a bit. I use Time ATACs, and they're like a brass kind of bronzy compound of some sort, or that's just a coating on them. I don't know. But those replace once a year. They look fine, and you can theoretically use them for probably a decade, and they will still get in and out of the pedal. But you probably have no idea how much performance you're actually lacking by not having a fresh cleat in there. Also, it's a great time to do it because then you make sure that your bolts are tight, that one of them isn't loose, that one of them hasn't disappeared. and it gets your gear in line for the season. So take that as an opportunity to replace your cleats. You look like you were going to say something for half a second.
I'm just thinking I should have added them on my order when I got pedals ordered yesterday. Because you're right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of shoes that probably need fresh cleats.
You realize I have probably have cleats down there, Crank Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
So she's on
Cool.
Crank
Okay.
Brothers. I'm on ATAX. You're on SPD. So
I am the winner, SPD.
I got to say, I said, I've been on SPDs. I mean, I started on SPDs. I never had a problem with them. I just switched to ATAX. Apparently, the major difference between SPD and ATAX is the amount of float, and I prefer the float. So I like where I'm at. There are things I don't like about the ATAC platform.
I have a ton of float in my SPDs.
That's, if I had to give up on the ATAX, I would go SPD.
I mean,
and honestly, I would go SPD right now, except for the fact that, at this point, I would have to get, 6, 8 sets of pedals to replace all the ones I got out there on all the bikes that I got.
Pedals are swappable between bikes, right?
It's a pain in the ass. Absolute pain in the ass.
It is not a pain in the ass to swap pedals.
Oh my God, it's a pain in the ass. I would have to take them to a bike shop.
You take the time to take your chain off and wax it. It's way quicker. Way quicker to change your pedals.
Man. I don't know. It's a pain in the ass.
Pull the blinders off, man.
Do you know how many people will go out if they got like power pedals? How many people will go out and actually buy an additional set of power pedals just so they don't have to move them from one bike to the other when they initially bought the power pedals with the justification of this way I can move them to any bike that I want to. They just get tired of moving them. People are lazy, man. I'm no exception.
Oh, I know.
But, I've got my fat bike. I don't have a problem putting pedals on the fat bike at the beginning of the season. I'm the same way with that and the saddle as well too, because sometimes I'll rob the saddle off of that. Got my fat bike, 3 cross bikes. I'm pretty sure 2 cross bikes for sure, and my gravel bike. So that's pretty much it. I guess 4 bikes. I would need 4 sets of pedals. I feel like there's more. Oh, it's because my son used to race, and then his bike would have the same ones as well too. So there was multiple different ones out there, but I guess I'm only on 3 sets of pedals or something. So not that big of a deal. I guess
you're not changing pedals anyway.
Well, yeah, no, I'd have to take them to the bike shop to get them swapped.
Yeah, I know. It's just downstairs.
Yeah, it's
downstairs
like
from where
15
you're at
feet
right now.
away,
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever. All right. Yeah. So that's Shimano. Anybody else got anything they want to add on Shimano at all? Oh, they did come out with a new pontoon or something. Not pontoon. Don't kill me. I don't know the terminology, but it's it's a plate that goes underneath the cleat.
The cleat.
And helps give you some stability by contacting the pedal. And when that came out, everyone kind of is getting confused about it. They think it has that you can use this on any shoe or what. You can't. It's designed to be used with the new S-Fire shoe. The new S-Fire shoe is a gravel shoe, and it was designed to be extremely light and one of the stiffest shoes they've ever made. So they basically have put what they're calling their road performance into a gravel shoe. And then if you look on the bottom, it's kind of sparsely lugged. And so this little pontoon gives you like an opportunity to add another one to give you more stability on the pedal platform, which stiffens everything up as well too. So this was designed over a few years with Keegan Swinson and whoever.
Keegan's a look, dude. Pete Stetna.
Oh, I heard Keegan yesterday. Maybe I wasn't paying attention right.
Unless money talks and Keegan switched, but
you never know.
Switching from SRAM.
I don't know.
He's not switching.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
You should know these things, Rob.
I'm talking out my ass. Nobody in the industry knows anything. Are you kidding me? So anyway, that's the other part that I wanted to cover. Let's see. coming into cyclocross.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about tires. Be sure to go get some tires over at treadsavvy.com. And that is us, by the way. I do want to dispel some confusion. Some people thought that we were making our own tires. We are not making our own tires. We are selling right now, mostly, if not all, Challenge tires. So cyclocross tires made by Challenge. And we are basically, think of us as roughly a distributor. So if you are shop oriented in the industry or whatever, you can reach out to us if you need some inventory, because we have inventory, which is a major difference to most of the other people in the game right now. We also have inventory on glue and some tips and techniques. Don't be afraid to try to glue your own. If you need some help, hey, give me a call. It's not like I don't have anything to do. So that's tires. With cyclocross, there is a new race coming to California. And a lot of people are probably like, why are you guys talking about California cyclocross? Because we're touching a little bit of it. I guess we're pseudo sponsors of parts of it. But this is at Big Bear Zoo Lake.
Big Bear Lake.
Jess Whiten and Bill Barnes, friends of the pod. Bill's been on the podcast quite a few times over the years, but they left Iceland and went to California to work a few years back, and they decided to host 2 days of cyclocross racing in Southern California there. So about time, because California apparently hasn't had cyclocross for a long time. I would make the argument that they never really had cyclocross.
Well, you know, Sacramento and stuff has it.
Yeah, Northern California, Southern Cal, it's just, and even the cyclocross, pretty much. I used to make jokes with some of the people I knew in California that they were like, they aren't even real cross courses. So I don't know, but whatever. I'm not here to throw shade or gatekeep, but this will be. I have every confidence that because Bill's kind of designing the course, it's going to be like a course that you would see if you're around in the Chicagoland area. So that's where he learned how to do it. Huh?
Flat?
No, I don't think so.
No. So this,
but laid out that way.
No, I know. Yeah.
Anybody who's in the Southern California area of the country, October 4th and 5th, they can check it out. It's registrations live on Bike Reg. It's up at 7,000 feet elevation, so should be fun if you're from lower than that. I am heading out there to play up at elevation and not be able to breathe and help out where I can, and maybe throw my leg over the bike and pin on a number just to support the race. So yeah, it's exciting. I know they have a bunch of charity fundraiser stuff like around it. I think it's kind of going to be kind of a whole big deal beyond just the race. So
it's going to be a big deal. I don't have anything confirmed, and I don't remember exactly what he told me, but I know that Phil Guyman is now helping out with it, him and his wife.
Yeah, he is they have something that's like Chase the Bear or something like that, where the bear is like a like celebrity person, and that is Phil Guyman.
And let me double check this. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I don't want to speak out of hand.
So, but yeah.
There's another individual that is a big name that will be there.
I don't know any of those that are confirmed, though.
That's the problem. That's what I wanted to make sure.
Anyway.
So there may be another massive name in American cyclocross. Okay, I'll use the same terminology here. So
I would say Jeremy Powers.
Okay, so Phil Guyman and Jeremy Powers are both coming to our race, apparently. That's the text that I got. So
they're bros.
Yeah. So there you go. I would, if you are even remotely close to that race, make it a point to go to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it's basic. easy to get into. Going to be 2 days of racing. You can stay in the area. It's a resort near there or something, or
It's a resort
state
town.
park.
There's a ton of stuff. If
Yeah.
it's up at Big Bear Lake proper, then there's a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in front of the zoo, I believe.
Yeah. There's a ton of
so-
stuff around there.
So
I've never been there. I'm excited to go.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, at one point he was talking to me almost a year ago. He was talking to me about coming out there and helping him design the course, and that would have been a lot of fun. I would have appreciated that, but I had to stay here and race a crit and break 4 ribs. So anyway,
How dare you?
yeah, I know, right?
So locally, I think we start racing in Wisconsin this
weekend.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Yep.
this weekend. Are you heading up there? You are, right?
I
Tim?
am both days.
And I think we have a couple other people from our team that are heading up there.
I'm
so
sure. I keep
yeah,
getting asked
it just
if I'm
seems
going.
it seems so with the weather the way it's been, it actually feels like cyclocross season. But then next week it's going to get back up to 80, and then it's going to be pretty miserable for cyclocross at those temperatures. But I rode this morning outside and it was 48 degrees when I left my house. I was like, holy moly. So I put on all my stuff and I was fine. I was probably even a little bit overdressed. But
It happens. It happens when you get the first dose of cold.
Right. I was like, you know what? I'd rather start out overdressed and then have to accommodate as I go. Cause I knew I was just going for an easy ride anyway, but, it was all right. It felt good. It's fresh.
Nice and crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah. You enjoy it, because I don't even get to get cold on a bike. I'm not bitter or anything.
Not at all.
Really? I would have never guessed that. Yeah, no, the flyover cross on Saturday. That's an awesome course.
Yeah. It's going to be nice weather through the weekend too. Cooler.
Yep. That's an awesome course. And then Sunday's course I raced, that was their first race of the season last year at Green Valley or something like that. It's a good one. Yeah. I think looking at both schedules, I'll probably spend more time in Wisconsin racing their series than I will our series. Probably 2 to 3 times more.
Yeah. Oh, they have so many races. I think they have probably at least 2, if not 3 times as many as us. Right?
They have 20.
Yeah.
But again, like there's like 3 or 4 of them that are non-series. Like Trek is non-series, and then there's something else in there. I think the Midwest Regionals is non-series. Englewood, yeah. So they got like 16
it's listed.
races.
The Midwest Regional Championships is listed on the Wix site. Don't know.
Yeah. So is Trek,
if it's series or not.
They denote them as non-points for the series.
It's interesting though, because I'd be interested
in it, but they're not points accruing.
I think I'm going to be able to race the Midwest Regional, and it'd be interesting to know if they're going to have the same categories. Talk amongst yourselves.
Tim, do you know when the first cyclocross World Cup is happening? I'm assuming
I don't think
coming
it's
up.
World Cup. I don't think it's till like November.
What?
The first World Cup, and then they come thick and fast.
Okay.
But there's a ton of like non-World Cup racing that happens.
So it's actually like UCI, C whatever races.
Yeah, C1, C2s, but in Belgium, like
the Trophy series and all that stuff.
Yeah, the what is it? The one with the ducks? I don't even know.
I want one of those ducks.
I know. I want one of the hats really bad. I want a hat. But I don't think the first World Cup starts until November.
Speaking in November, I just looked it up. So the Kringle Cross Midwest Regional Cyclocross Championships is being held at the Hampshire Cycle Club in Waukesha on Saturday, November 1st. And it says, it's listed on the Wix WICX calendar. It says in more info, it says this event does not score points in the WICX series.
Right.
So there you go. There will be more information in the future as we get closer, I'm sure. But I'm interested in what their categorization is going to be then. Because I liked going up there because it had the 50 plus 4.5. If it doesn't have that,
it's probably not going to change much from their original scheduling or
They
their
just won't
original
have
categories.
points for it.
Yeah, you'll be
It
the
would
Midwest
be.
regional champion.
I can see why. I mean, because if they're anticipating having a lot of non-locals show up for it, it would kind of create a nightmare for scoring points for the series. But whatever, I think they could still do it.
Yeah, I don't know. When I did the Midwest regionals in 2016, it was very sparsely attended, and that was at
Yeah,
Angel Park.
yeah.
That's one
I've
of the good courses. But again, there was like 3 feet of snow too. So
yeah. There was one we had here that seemed fairly well attended. That was the one that we had at Dan Ryan Woods
I missed that
1
course.
year, and it had snow, a lot of snow on it.
I wish we could bring that course back. I was thinking about it the other day.
Yeah, no, not a chance in hell. So
Yeah, I know. It's too hard for most.
well, it's not that. It's just that we were officially kicked out of basically city parks, at least that one in particular,
Yeah.
because of whatever. I mean, I heard it was damage that was done, but it wasn't me involved, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Wasn't the dude cracking his teeth out on the makeshift pond?
I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
Yeah, you
I think
know.
it was.
You
I
just
think
can't
no,
say.
I don't. I think it was the groundskeeper.
Yeah, no,
the park
it makes sense. It makes
just
sense.
getting pissed at it, because that's usually how we get kicked out of places. It's that groundkeeper that freaks out about the fact that not
Yeah.
100% of their grass is 100% green 100% of the year.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like whatever, man.
Well,
Whatever.
that race was always hit or miss. Like you could have 80 degrees. Like I remember
Yeah.
one year it was 80 degrees and it was fast as hell. And then like the following year it was muddy and
Swampy.
wet. It was terrible. It
Yeah.
was super hard.
That was a very good venue for
It
what
was.
it was.
It was
Especially
a
the
good,
little single track that they had, and that
Yeah.
hill was just killer.
It was it's fair. It was balanced. You had hard parts and easy parts.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the way that every cross course should be.
I think
But what do
you
I know?
froze up there, Tim. So looks like we had some connectivity issues. Our wireless internet just dropped out, and I'm reconnected now with some wired internet. Gotta love it. So we were pretty much done anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks for listening and joining us. Like, share, and subscribe. Go and buy yourself some buttonhole chamois cream at your favorite local retailer. If you need some cyclocross tires, go over to treadsavvy.com. Use the code GRIT20, get 20% off right now. And I'm sure I missed something. But, have some fun and enjoy the ride.